The third test. Welcome again. And I just want to preface this test with a little information or explanation of why these tests are relevant. They're not just ancient history tests, trivial history tests. No, these are tests that test your ability to understand how the ruling class thinks and deceives us into making very bad decisions. Because after all, these sarcophagi on which these tests are based, at least three of them, they're not so old, and they were made and used by the same people who still control this world. And another reminder from another lecture, in case you haven't reviewed your notes. Sarcophagus, that word is a portmanteau, a kind of hybrid word made from two words. Sarco has roots in, I think, Latin for meat, and phagus, I think, also has Latin root meaning eat, eating meat. What are the chances that they accidentally named stone coffins eat meat, meat eater? Would that be an accident, or is that good evidence that we are not dealing with stone coffins? But I digress, and I have also given you some clues. As our question is, what is the purpose of these decorations, these engravings on sarcophagi? So I'm going to share, I don't know, 3 or 4 right now with very detailed, what's the right word? Curious engravings. I believe this one has, well, not visible on one side is Eros awakening Psyche with an arrow. And on the right side, they're embracing as if the arrow can't harm Psyche, the sick one, Psyche, shall we say. And the lid has its own little story, mostly. Angels. Well, there's one angel fighting a lion. There's another angel maybe hunting a ruminant of some sort, a ram maybe. Humans and angels performing mighty deeds. And 2 angels on the ends of the lid, not unlike the Ark of the Covenant. These garlands are supposed to symbolize prosperity, abundance. Are those giant bunches of grapes? Not sure. And strong men here. An empty plaque. Not sure what to make of that. And I can't tell you right now if I did. There's a sarcophagus with the lid on top. This is supposed to illustrate the marriage of the Dioscuri, who are the twins Pollux and Castor. Pollux was immortal, Castor was mortal. Pollux sacrificed half of his immortality to his brother. How do you do that? It's interesting. Who wants to have half of immortality? Who's obsessed with immortality? The WCC. Well, the lower, what shall we call this, frieze, has the twins here. They look very similar, both wearing these hats, maybe from reminiscent, at least, of the Mithra cult that was into bull sacrifice, which we see on the lid. To four bulls being sacrificed in kind of mirror image. We got the twinning happening everywhere. Here, I guess these are Pollux and Castor fighting. I don't know where the marriage theme exists exactly in this frieze. Maybe it's on the other side of the sarcophagus. We have two ladies. I guess that's a lady. Looks rather mannish above the shoulders. And this lady here falling into the arms of the twins. Not sure who this lady is here. But seems rather, what's the word? Rather desirable for some men, I suppose. They want ladies falling into their arms, or if they want to abduct ladies, who knows what's happening here. You could look this muscular, this healthy. Oh, if only so mighty. And then I guess maybe this is the underworld. It's reminiscent, or makes me think, this, they're stuck between the floor and the ceiling. Is this based on the underground prison farms that exist around the world? Some of those tunnels and chambers, I suppose, were not so tall. Might be a good way to prevent your livestock from running. Notice the break marks here, the damage, exactly symmetrical on both sides. I'm not sure why the damage is done to the actual body of the sarcophagus, but it's also on the lid. Could that be because they were lifting it with something that wasn't appropriate? Could be. We have these heads, men without bodies, beheaded men on either side. Not angels this time. And the angels are beheading, I guess, the bulls. Butchering them, preparing a lovely meal, I suppose. And not sure what these figures in this between the bulls are meant to be. A little disturbing, as everything here is. So what's the purpose? That's the question. Why did the creators of these sarcophagi create such interesting engravings? What is their purpose? I don't think it's because some rich individual wanted a beautiful sarcophagus and a sarcophagus illustrated with stories that have nothing to do with their life. There's not even a name or an image of someone real, I suppose, on this sarcophagus. Just like pyramids, somehow the creators forgot to add a statue or a plaque identifying who is supposed to be buried in there. Well, no, they didn't forget because there are not burial chambers. This is another sarcophagi without the lid, though, and again, this is supposed to illustrate the marriage of immortal Pollux and mortal Castor. Pollux, Castor. I've 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 analyzed those names in the Criminal Bible. Just can't remember what it's all about. This one is quite beautiful. Roman sarcophagus with the myth of Medea. I don't see Medea anywhere. I don't see Jason. I don't see Golden Fleece anywhere. Maybe they just make up these interpretations. What I do see is lots of healthy, robust men and women and children full of health and vigor, children playing happily, older men apparently chasing a very voluptuous young woman, two sturdy warriors apparently at peace, apparently a couple here falling in love. Oh, it looks like heaven. Oh, what's that? There's a serpent here, a serpent, dragon, serpent with swan wings or angel wings. Who knows what it could all mean? Is there one more? Yeah, why not? This one illustrates the story of, is it Selene? Selena, the moon goddess, and Endymion, the mortal young man or boy who was so beautiful that the goddess wanted to have him alive forever. So I think it was Zeus who said, yeah, he can be alive forever, but only asleep. He'll be asleep forever. Lovely. So was it someone else or her, another woman, managed to procreate with the sleeping man and bear 50 children? Lots of children here again. Horses. Not, this man is not in a comfortable place. Very healthy, muscular older man here, petting a dog, I believe. Two lions at either ends, and some children casually playing, I suppose, inches from its mouth. Fearless, fearless stuff. And on the top, on the lid, we do have a dedication, as if this really belonged to one person. And that's supposed to be her, and her name is Aninia Hilara, if you believe that. Subtract the first and the last A, and you have Nini. And subtract the last A, or play with this surname, and we have Hilarious. Hilarious Nini. There's Endymion, perhaps already asleep. Where's the moon? I don't see a moon. I see a sacrificial lamb. We have a cherub riding a chariot, cherub in a chariot. Well, back to the lid. What's her name again? Hilarious Nini. Well, what do we make of that? I'm not sure what to make of that. She's supposed to have lived to 50 years and 10 months. Would that seem like a long time if you were raised underground and fed subpar food? Was 33 the normal cutoff age for prisoners of the underground? After that, maybe they became too unhealthy. Not sure. I'm sure it wouldn't be a healthy place, though. And on top, we have, I guess, heavenly scenes. Woman with child, woman in nature, maybe. It's hard to be sure what that is. Lovers with children, a brave warrior, a child with pets, friendly. Oh, and a decapitated head. Can't do without them. Yeah, well, you want a decapitated head on my sarcophagus, please. Give me an angel with a sarcophagus. Sorry, with a decapitated head. I don't believe these lids are airtight. That would be a miracle. And they probably shouldn't be airtight. Imagine, well, if they are not airtight, which I'm sure they're not, and you put corpses in these things, the stench would leak. But if these are cookware, then yes, you need air to seep out as the air inside expands when the sarcophagus is being heated. So it's very practical to have not perfectly sealed lids. Okay, not perfectly sealed sarcophagi. I think that's it for this test. Indeed it is. Good luck with it. I am checking the comment section. Some people have made some courageous efforts and close, but not quite correct answers.